meMiner here. Let's talk about the rules for rockhounding in Ontario, Canada. They do change by province. What's important is there's no right to collect on Crown land or public property. It's a privilege. I'll give you my interpretation of the rules. Basically, there are two pieces of legislation that you need to be aware. The Aggregate Resources Act, which to me is mostly to do with quarries, gravel pits, that sort of thing. But more importantly is the Mining Act. And if you read that, there is absolutely nothing in there to do with hobbyist rockhounding for either educational purposes or your own interest. What there is, written in 2011, is a policy statement. I will put that into the description of this video down below so you can read it for yourself. These rules apply to both residents of Ontario and guests. There's no difference. Everybody's welcome, but everybody needs to follow the rules. The policy actually states, although the Mining Act applies to these activities, they are generally not enforced. So what does that mean? To me, it means that if you're doing things correctly as according to the policy, they will not enforce the Mining Act on you. If they suspect you're doing something incorrectly, they will bring the full weight of the Mining Act down on you. The policy statement has really two key things to be aware. One is where you can and can't collect, and the second part is what you can and cannot do while you are collecting. Although it was written for minerals and rocks, it also applies to fossils and gold panning, and I would argue also applies to metal detecting if you're looking for ore or nuggets or that sort of thing. So they're very specific. You can collect to the threshold limit. The threshold limit being the amount one individual can carry and one visit per site per year. If you exceed that, you're no longer considered a hobby collectorist. The burden is on the collector to know whether or not the property that you are trying to collect on has existing rights. By the same token, if it's Crown land, so public property, but it's not a park, it's not Native or First Nations, there aren't other existing claims on it, then for sure you can collect there. You can collect there, but you need permission, and the recommendation is written permission. They also restrict you from collecting in a place with a mining hazard or other dangerous elements. You probably don't want to be there anyway. This is supposed to be fun, but keep that in mind. So the definition of hobby mineral collecting is important for our purposes here. It's only for your own personal pleasure, recreation, interest, or education. There has to be no intention to sell the minerals that you collect. If you're collecting to sell, you are not a hobby collectorist. However, you can trade. So they do allow that you can collect minerals and then find somebody else to trade other minerals. Lastly, you cannot use power tools or mechanical equipment. This is hand mining only. Well, thank you for watching. On this channel, we do like to share our knowledge, educate, and surprise. Please join me again. In the meantime, keep well.